You see, the process for picking a subject for a video can be an arduous one. There are topics that I have on a short list that I believe will clearly be exciting for people. Additionally, there is dedicated software out there that gives you advice on what topics to cover. For example, if there's a high volume of searches for third culture kid videos, but there aren't many videos about it on YouTube, and it's in your niche, then there's software that recommends you make a video in order to meet that demand. There is a whole universe of apps dedicated to helping YouTubers decide what video to make next. And none of those apps are telling me to make a video about English translations of the word roller coaster. Absolutely zero of them. None of the editing tips recommend a one take this long in the intro, but I don't know how to do this any other way. I mean, this is a worse idea than the anime gate deciding to keep this scene in.
あたいのせいで怪我させちまったね。
まったくだ。治るまでの間、面倒見てもらうぜ。
お安いご用さ。菅原様とシェリーの愛は永遠ですわ。
ちゃんと法には従います。
No, 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 no. For context, he's 30 and she's 12, and anime needs a woman's movement. Bring that guy in. Yeah, bring him in. Thanks for coming, Chris. How am I supposed to recommend these shows to friends? Huh? Sometimes there's incredible art, incredible storyline, plot lines, and then they'll just make a love interest 15, or they'll imply it. Anime. Okay, let's just talk about roller coasters. Scooby-Doo, Wavy Iron Road, and Stool. Two of those words I will use in today's video. One of them I'm passing right now. Hi, I'm Mangochi, and to the Mango Muster I welcome you to a video that no one asked for, where I look at the English translations for the word roller coaster. In 2018, I was listening to Duolingo's Spanish podcast and heard a strange sequence of words. Watch. Oh, you were expecting the Duolingo clip. Yeah, I can't actually find that audio. Just believe me when I say 6 years ago, I wasn't understanding the entirety of what was being said, but context clues led me to believe they were talking about an amusement park. And at one point, someone said montaña rusa. I know montaña means mountains, and I know rusa means Russian, but I didn't understand what Russian mountains had to do with amusement parks. I replayed that part and had Google translate it and finally understood that together, montaña rusa, or Russian mountains, is how you say roller coaster in Spanish. Could you imagine if Mangochi was in Spanish? Hola, soy Mangochi. Y para mi gente del Mango Muster le doy la bienvenida a un video que nadie pidió. Soy un amigo de Mangochi haciéndole el favor de traducir esto al español. El pobre tonto no tiene idea de lo que está a punto de decir. Sazono mi ramen con agua de urinarios antes de comerlo. Anyway, I couldn't just leave things at Russian mountains. Why is that the translation? Class, I've been struggling with this concept. A concept I think will change the world. People like domesticated things. What do I mean by that? Dogs are domesticated wolves, pools are domesticated oceans, and trampolines are essentially domesticated space, but without the lungs rupturing and the radiation. What can we domesticate next? How about we domesticate free-falling? We set a perimeter of a couple of dozen acres in which we simulate free-falling with varying degrees of speed. People will get dizzy. People will pass out. People will vomit. People will be scared. And for good measure, I don't know, we'll just discriminate on height. Call it intuition, but I think people will love it. And if this doesn't work, then my name isn't Roller D Coaster. The predecessor of the roller coaster started in 14th century Russia. A large ice-covered man-made hill was used to slide down on bobsled-like objects. This idea was later brought to France. The warmer climate in France melted the ice, so they started building wax slides instead. Eventually, they added wheels to the sled. And in 1817, in France, Les Montagnes Russes à Belleville became the first roller coaster where the train was attached to the track. From there, the French evolved the build by adding complex track layouts with multiple cars. Later, a second ride was opened, this time under Promenade Aérienne, which translates to aerial walks. Aerial walks is a lit name, by the way. We should have went with aerial walks in English instead of roller coaster. Now in the US in the mid 1800s, the first roller coaster was accidentally created. It was the Mach Chunk Switchback Railway, built in the mountains of Pennsylvania. The track was originally built to transport coal, and in fantastic US fashion, we found a more pleasurable use case. Kind of like how some of us have found a more pleasurable use case for cucumbers or this windscreen. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Oh my god. The track was later reconfigured for a scenic tour for a nickel. The whole who built the first roller coaster is a bored man's Leibniz-Newton calculus controversy. Who invented it first? But out of the three possible countries, we know it can't be the US. The US came later, but as far as the origins go, some people say it's Russia and some people say it's France. But if the French call it
Montagne russe,
which translates to Russian mountains, and their predecessor of the roller coaster started in Russia, I'm gonna go with Russia. I mean, that makes sense, but I wonder what they call roller coasters in Russian. Ducks? Do you know?
Oh no.
Ducks?
he won't believe it. He won't believe it.
Okay, roller coaster in French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian translates to Russian mountains.
Montanha russa.
And some languages have followed the train concept rather than the Russian mountain one. In Turkish, it's pronounced
Hız treni.
and it translates to speed train. In Greek, it's little train.
Trenaki.
In Hungarian, it's wavy iron road.
Hullámvasút.
In English, it's believed to be called roller coaster because one refers to a specific design of ride that involved tracks with rollers placed on them so that sleds could coast over the tracks, and I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of a boring origin story. We need something better, and we need a better word for roller coaster. Let me know in the comments of some better alternatives to roller coaster. In Dutch, it's 8-track.
Achtbaan.
In Swedish and Norwegian, they are referred to as mountain and valley paths.
Berg- och dalbana.
In Czech, it's mountain paths.
Horská dráha.
And for some reason, Czech refers to Ferris wheels as Russian wheels. In Croatian, it's trains of death.
Brdska željeznica.
And this is elite work from the Croatians. If you've watched my latest Taskmaster video, then you'll know that Croatians are slowly becoming my favorite people on this earth. I don't mean to start a civil race war, but they're my second favorite white people after the Irish. Now the English translation of roller coaster from Russian is American Hills.
Американские горки.
This feels like the Scooby-Doo sequence where they go into the different rooms but come out the different doors. This is most likely due to roller coasters really taking off in the US. Estonian and Ukrainian refer to roller coasters as American slides as well. Theme parks and roller coasters are by far more popular in Europe and North America than they are in the rest of the world. It makes sense. They originated there. My minimal research has shown me that per capita, North America and Europe have the most theme parks. But what about the rest of the world? How do parts of the world where theme parks are less popular say roller coaster? From asking friends and checking online, Amharic, Swahili, Japanese, Hindi, and a bunch of other languages have transliterations of roller coaster. In Arabic, it's death train. Again, elite work. But my friend who speaks Arabic said that this can vary on what kind of Arabic is spoken. Keep in mind, just like in Arabic, there are many ways of saying roller coaster. Earlier, I said you can say
Montagne russe.
for roller coaster in French, but you can say
Grand 8.
as well. In the comments, please correct me on any roller coaster translation. And if I didn't mention your language, what is the English translation of roller coaster from your language? To all 0 of my Croatian and Arabic speaking subscribers, do they really say roller coaster like this in your language? If they do, you guys win. I'm concerned, but you guys win. Amharic, French, English. Congratulations on picking a word for a roller coaster. Now, Who do we have left to pick? Croatian. Croatian, what are you gonna pick as roller coaster? Croatian? Croatian? There you have it. Roller coaster. Isn't that exciting? Roller coaster. No? Okay. I personally had fun finding all this out. When it comes to actually riding roller coasters, I don't. I don't ride them because I hate them. Roller coasters join my wall of hate along with Usopp, Cementos, and Cabbage Patch Kids. Because let's be realistic, the Croatian and Arabic translations of Trains of Death and Death Train are accurate representations of what one feels. The Swedish and Norwegian translation of Mountain and Valley Pass is one of delusion. It's like calling a euthanasia injection whoopsie daisy bye bye juice. In the comments, let me know if people really say roller coaster like that in your respective language. Keep in mind my research team is limited to those ducks, so it's hard to verify what is actually said without living in these countries. Thanks for watching, and shout out to Dan Campbell for signing up to my Mansa Musa Mango tier. If you want your name on the screen, or you want to enjoy some commentary I have on videos I've made, or radio mixes that I've made, please join my Patreon. And thank you to my current patrons. Y para los hispanohablantes viendo esto, ¿ustedes también sazonan su ramen con agua de urinarios?